Hey, this is Jake again with Twigs Nursery. We're doing a tutorial today on planting your hybrid poplars that you ordered from our store. Hybrid poplars are probably the easiest thing to plant ever. So what you'll need is, if you're planting indoors, if you ordered these in the winter months or the early spring, you definitely want to keep them inside to start them off. If it's later in the summer, then you could do this in the ground. But I'm going to give you the instructions for inside because it seems like a lot of these orders come kind of early spring. So first thing you're going to need to do is open your package and pull these out. Now, a lot of people are dismayed when they see, how small these little guys are. They're only about 1 to 2 inches, and they have one or two, or they have 2 or 3 buds on them. One bud actually becomes the roots, and the other one becomes the first leaf, the first bud. And so this is the way they propagate. So don't be worried that they're so small, because this is how it works. First thing you want to do is throw them, they're in a dormant state. When you receive them, they've actually been in the freezer at 33 degrees for probably months. If it's early spring, we probably just got them off the tree and they're in the freezer, nature's freezer outside. So the first thing you want to do is throw them in some water. Put them in there for maybe like half hour to an hour just to get them nice and hydrated. And then grab them and make sure the bud is pointing up. Let me grab one that's a little more obvious. This other one that I had was pretty good. So you can see, if you can zoom in there, that bud is definitely pointing up. So it's just like an arrow going straight up. They need to go in the ground that way, or in your cup that way. Next thing is to grab a Dixie cup or whatever, and some kind of a cup, and it's really important that we have drainage in this cup. A lot of people forget to do this part. So you wanna poke some holes in there, make sure you've got some water can get through, and then maybe put this on a dish or a platter, just so that when you do water it, you don't get water in your table or whatnot. All right, so it is important to use the right soil also. Just regular garden dirt is really great. Also, if you can get a rooting hormone, those are available pretty much anywhere. I mean, you can get those at any nursery, you can go order it online. The rooting hormone isn't necessary, but it really is going to help this little guy take off. And all you do with that is just dip it in water, dip it in the rooting hormone, and then push this into the soil. Now you want to push it all the way past that first bud and right to the starting of the second one. So past the first, starting the second. Don't do just barely that first bud down. You want to get it really in the soil. And then water heavily. You'll see it kind of make a hole in there where it packed the soil in. You want to pack it back around it again and pack it pretty good. And then give it another water. And then water that thing every day. Every day. Keep the soil moist. It needs to be, it should never dry out while it's growing. And keep it next to some indirect lighting. You can even have it in some direct lighting for some of the day, but for the most part it needs to be in indirect lighting. Definitely don't let it get to any freezing temperatures. That will kill these little poplars, and even though they're small, you're going to see them take off like crazy. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and see you next time.